In a move that stunned the world, Beijing has formally accepted a dialogue framework proposed by Taipei, marking a dramatic reversal of decades-old policy. For over 70 years, the Taiwan Strait has been a global flashpoint, with China vowing to reclaim Taiwan by force if necessary. Now Beijing's pivot from military threats to diplomatic engagement has left analysts scrambling to interpret its motives. The Hang Seng Index surged over 5%, signaling cautious optimism in global markets. China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a brief statement agreeing to explore peaceful development, a sharp departure from its usual rhetoric. This shift is so profound that it's met with both hope and skepticism. Many point to China's economic pressures and its desire to reshape its global image ahead of major summits. The world is watching. Is this a genuine breakthrough or a calculated move in a complex geopolitical game? Washington has responded with cautious welcome, but anxiety lingers beneath official statements. The U.S. policy of strategic ambiguity on Taiwan is now under scrutiny, as this new dynamic could either sideline Washington or force it into a more direct role. The stakes are enormous. The stability of the Indo-Pacific may hinge on the sincerity and execution of this unexpected diplomatic opening. The next steps will reveal whether this is the start of a new era or just another twist in a long-running standoff. To understand today's breakthrough, we must revisit the roots of the China-Taiwan divide. The split began in 1949, when Chiang Kai-shek's nationalists retreated to Taiwan, and Mao Zedong's communists established the People's Republic on the mainland. Both sides have claimed to be the sole legitimate government of China, fueling a decades-long standoff. China's anti-secession law and military buildup have kept the threat of force alive, while Taiwan has built a robust democracy and distinct identity. Most Taiwanese favor the status quo, de facto independence, over unification. Despite political tensions, economic ties have flourished since the 1980s, with Taiwan investing billions in the mainland and China becoming Taiwan's top trading partner. This economic interdependence is a double-edged sword. It stabilizes relations but also gives Beijing leverage. Internationally, most countries recognize the PRC, but many, including the US, maintain unofficial ties with Taiwan. The US is bound by the Taiwan Relations Act to help Taiwan defend itself, making the strait a focal point of US-China rivalry. Beijing's acceptance of Taipei's offer may be an attempt to resolve the issue on its own terms and reduce American influence. The historical baggage makes this diplomatic opening both promising and precarious. Taipei's proposal is a pragmatic, multi-stage framework designed to lower tensions without sacrificing core principles. The first stage focuses on military de-escalation, expanded economic cooperation, and reopening official communication channels. Key elements include a no-first-use pledge, a military hotline, and mutual pullbacks of certain missile systems. Economically, the plan builds on the ECFA, offering collaboration in high-tech sectors and joint ventures with protections for intellectual property. The goal transforms economic leverage into genuine partnership. Restoring formal dialogue mechanisms is central, aiming for a structured, predictable process. By proposing a clear roadmap, Taipei seeks stability and a new foundation for managing differences. Beijing's willingness to discuss these terms signals a recognition that pressure alone is no longer effective. Global markets responded instantly to Beijing's announcement, with Asian equities soaring and currencies strengthening. Defense stocks dipped in the US and Europe, while commodity prices rose on expectations of increased cross-strait economic activity. The cost of ensuring cargo through the Taiwan Strait plummeted, reflecting hopes for lasting peace. Diplomatically, reactions are mixed. Public encouragement, private apprehension. Japan and South Korea welcomed the dialogue but stressed the need for regional stability. ASEAN nations see a chance for de-escalation but worry about a more dominant China. In Washington, officials support talks publicly but privately reassess US strategy and influence in Asia. A successful rapprochement could diminish America's role and prompt a strategic rethink. The coming days will see intense diplomatic activity as the US and its allies coordinate their response. The world is recalibrating, unsure if this is a turning point or a fleeting moment. The stakes for global security and economic stability could not be higher. The core challenge remains sovereignty. Beijing insists on one China, while most Taiwanese prioritize their democracy and autonomy. Success will depend on finding a creative formula to sidestep this impasse, perhaps by shelving the sovereignty dispute while advancing practical cooperation. An interim peace accord could codify military de-escalation and economic partnership, providing security guarantees for Taiwan and a peaceful path for Beijing. Negotiations will be arduous, with every detail scrutinized for hidden meaning. Domestically, Taiwan's government faces both praise for pursuing peace and criticism for risking sovereignty, fueling political polarization. Transparency will be crucial to maintain public trust. Internationally, progress could open doors for Taiwan's participation in global organizations, even without formal recognition. Yet, the world may increasingly view the issue as an internal Chinese matter, reducing outside support for Taiwan's autonomy. The political stakes are as high as the diplomatic ones. Economic integration could be transformative, with expanded ECFA cooperation unlocking immense value. Taiwan's semiconductor expertise and China's vast market could create a tech powerhouse rivaling Silicon Valley. Studies project a comprehensive agreement could boost Taiwan's GDP by 4% and create over 100,000 jobs. But deeper ties also raise fears of political coercion. If Taiwan becomes too reliant on China, Beijing could use economic leverage. Proponents argue interdependence is mutual, creating economic deterrence. A stable cross-strait environment could reshape global supply chains, concentrating critical industries in the region. The outcome depends on robust dispute resolution and trust. If successful, this partnership could set a precedent for resolving other regional conflicts through economic cooperation. The most immediate benefit of dialogue is military de-escalation. Confidence-building measures like a military hotline and mutual pullbacks could dramatically lower the risk of accidental conflict. For Taiwan, this means relief from daily military threats. For China, a chance to reallocate resources. U.S. freedom of navigation operations may be reassessed in a less tense environment, sparking debate over their necessity. Some warn Beijing could use talks as cover for continued military modernization, so vigilance is essential. Taiwan and the U.S. must distrust and verify, ensuring any pullbacks are real and lasting. The promise of peace must be balanced with preparedness. The region's security architecture is being tested as never before. The world will be watching for real, sustained change. The future of cross-strait relations could follow several paths. The most optimistic, creative integration, perhaps a confederation balancing autonomy and shared interests. More likely is a prolonged stalemate, reduced military tensions, deeper economic ties, but no resolution of the sovereignty dispute. This cold peace would lower the risk of war, but leave core issues unresolved. The worst-case scenario, talks collapse, tensions spike, and a new Cold War emerges, with both sides hardening their positions. A hybrid outcome is also possible. Economic integration deepens even as political and military rivalry persists. The most plausible future may be one of managed uncertainty, with cooperation and competition coexisting. Constant vigilance and careful management will be required. The next chapter remains unwritten. Beijing's acceptance of Taipei's offer has opened a new uncertain chapter in the Taiwan Strait. The immediate result reduced military risk, potential economic boom, and a strategic challenge for U.S. policy. The future depends on the negotiator's skill and sincerity. The best-case scenario is a creative solution respecting both Taiwan's autonomy and Beijing's concerns. More likely is a cold peace. Economic ties flourish, but political questions linger. The darkest outcome is a collapse in talks, reigniting tensions and drawing the U.S. and its allies deeper into confrontation. The stakes are global conflict here would have catastrophic consequences. The world watches as a door once thought sealed cracks open. The journey to lasting peace will be long and fraught with obstacles. The choices made now will shape Asia's future, and the world's, for generations.